Hi, this is Amanda from Macquarie Warrants Malaysia. As we have listed our first batch of warrants over the Nikkei 225 index on the 21st of August, we have Daryl Guppy, the renowned financial columnist, author, and inventor of the Guppy Multiple Moving Average with us to help us understand the Nikkei 225 index further, as well as to provide some insights. Hi Daryl, since the Nikkei 225 may be relatively new to Malaysian investors, can you give us a brief explanation of what the index is and why it is important?
Hi, I'm Daryl Guppy. Welcome to this edition of the Outlook at the end of the third quarter. And in particular, we're going to look at the Nikkei 225 because this index offers different types of opportunities to some of the other index trading that we might consider. The Nikkei 225 is the primary index for tracking the performance of the Japanese market. It's the top 225 blue chip stocks. Now this is important. It's a price weighted index, which means that the index is the average of the share prices of all of the companies listed on the Tokyo Stock Exchange. The TOPIX, or the Tokyo Price Index, is a capitalization weighted index that includes all of the stocks on the Tokyo Stock Exchange. So although we might argue that the TOPIX is more representative of what happens in Japan, the Nikkei 225 gives us access to the top well-known major brand stocks. These are the drivers of the Japanese economy. And that's what's making the ability to trade the Nikkei 225 so interesting and exciting in the current environment. Of course, every index gives us an opportunity to trade the market as a whole. So what else makes the Nikkei 2225 so important? There are several important factors that not only reflects the business activity of the country. The Nikkei 225 has deep liquidity and low spreads. Now that's a trading advantage. It means that you can get in and out at the levels that you prefer. It means the difference between the bid and the ask, the spread, is very small. This makes for more effective trading. But there's one other important feature of the Nikkei 225, and that is that the Japanese yen and the Nikkei 225 index are highly correlated at around 70%. That means that when the currency appreciates in value, the Nikkei will take a hit. And of course the reverse. When the currency declines in value, the Nikkei will also react strongly with a high level of correlation. That means that you can watch one and trade the other. You look at the yen as a leading indicator as to how the Nikkei 225 may behave.
Japan's Nikkei 225 is one of this year's top index performers, soaring to its highest level since 1989. With the market retracing around 4% from the peak in July, do you have a view on where the Nikkei 225 is headed from here?
Although the Nikkei is not a new index, it's been around for a very long time, it is a new index for people who haven't concentrated on it before. So let's have a look at it from a long-term perspective and then come back in to a shorter-term perspective. On a weekly chart, it's clear that the Nikkei has traded in a long-term sideways trading band for much of 21 and 22. The breakout, when it developed recently, reached targets set by measuring the height of the trading band and projecting it upwards. Now the Nikkei exceeded those target levels. However, it has now pulled back in a bullish type flag formation. Now on a daily chart, this is considered to be a bullish signal as the market pauses and then moves further upwards. So looking at the Nikkei 225 at the moment, we can say that it had a bullish bias. And certainly the GMMA, the Guppy Multiple Moving Average relationships, support this analysis. So we can say that the secular trend, the long-term trend, is bullish. But is that reflected in the daily chart? There are several features of importance on the daily chart. The first is the double bottom that's occurred near 34,800. It's broken through its target level. We have strong resistance at 33,800. And then, if we continue to break above this trading band here, we have an upside target of around 38,900 in the longer term. So what we're looking for in the current environment is short-term rallies taking off from this support target level here. It has been tested. There was a slight failure here, but it rapidly recovered. So we're looking for this rally here to continue and move towards this previous resistance level. A break above this resistance level, based on the trading band calculations, gives us a longer term target around 38,900. That's a long-term target. It may take weeks or months to achieve. What's important is that this behavior continues to remain bullish. Traders will look for consolidation around this resistance level here and then for a breakout to develop. These are price projection calculations. They're based on the trading band behavior of the Nikkei. So the structure of the Nikkei tends to be around trading bands, and moves above and below those trading bands give us a range of calculated objectives.
Thanks, Daryl. We have issued 3 call warrants and 2 put warrants over the Nikkei 225, allowing investors with either a bullish or bearish view to gain leverage exposure to this index. Investors should note that these warrants track the price of the SGX Nikkei 225 index futures contracts, which expire on every second Friday of each quarter. The warrants are currently tracking the December 2023 futures. Further, the market making hours for these warrants are from 9 a.m. to 12:29 p.m. for the morning session and from 2:55 p.m. to 4:43 p.m. for the afternoon session. Do check out our Nikkei 225 warrants, which adds to our product suite, allowing you to gain leveraged exposure to foreign markets with structured warrants listed on Bursa Malaysia. Daryl, as usual, do you have any final points for the investors listening in?
These are difficult markets with high levels of volatility on a global basis. But when we look at the primary indexes that are trading, it's clear that the Nikkei 225, which has given a 26.6% trading return since the beginning of this year, that this is a market that is clearly outperforming other markets and which offers a range of trading opportunities which are difficult to ignore. As always, it's your choice as to which markets you decide to trade. But the Nikkei 2225 gives us a range of opportunities that are not found in more poorly performing markets. We're looking for continued bullish behavior with the Nikkei 225 moving into the fourth quarter of 2023. Trade well. Thank you.
Thank you for the chat once again, Daryl. To those listening in, do subscribe to our newsletter and follow our Facebook and Telegram channels via the links in this video's description to be notified of our next episode. See you again soon!